You haven't lost the will to live. You've lost the will to perform. There's a crucial difference, and most people never stop long enough to see it. What looks like burnout or depression or laziness might actually be something far more specific: social exhaustion. In this video, we're going to walk through 7 psychological signs that you're not depleted by life itself. You're depleted by the people in it. By the time we reach sign 5, you'll understand why the problem isn't your personality. And by point 7, you'll see why the way you've been trying to fix it has likely been making things worse.
Stay for that one. It reframes everything. A 2022 study from the University of Edinburgh found that social exhaustion, distinct from general fatigue, activates the brain's threat response system in ways that solitude does not. That distinction matters enormously. It means your nervous system is responding to people as if they are a source of danger, not because you're broken, but because something in your social environment has become genuinely draining. Sign 1. The quiet relief. When a plan gets canceled, you feel relief, not guilt. That quiet exhale when someone texts to cancel, that's not you being antisocial. It's your nervous system signaling that social engagement currently costs you more than it returns. Researchers at King's College London found that introverts and socially exhausted individuals process social reward differently, and cancellations can feel like a genuine reprieve. If this happens once, it's fatigue. If it's every week, it's a pattern worth examining. Think about the last time a cancellation made your week feel instantly lighter. How often does that happen?
Sign 2. The performance fatigue. You're exhausted by the act of being on. You know the feeling. Every interaction requires a kind of performance, managing your tone, your expressions, your reactions. According to the British Journal of Psychology, this phenomenon is called impression management fatigue, and it's significantly more pronounced in people with high social awareness. The cruel irony is that the more considerate you are of others, the more draining every interaction becomes. Which brings us to what happens when you finally do spend time alone.
Sign 3. Solitude as recovery. Alone time feels like recovery, not loneliness. There's a fundamental difference between being alone and feeling lonely. If solitude genuinely restores you, if you come back from it feeling calmer, clearer, and more yourself, that's not a problem. Research from UCL suggests that restorative solitude is a healthy psychological mechanism, particularly in individuals who experience high demands in their social environments. In the context of NHS waiting lists and rising workplace stress across Britain, it's worth noting that a great many people are quietly surviving on stolen pockets of solitude. If you're still here, here's the part most people miss. Signs 4 and 5 reveal why this isn't a personality flaw.
Sign 4. Selective silence. You stop replying, but only to certain people. You're not ignoring everyone. You're ignoring the people who leave you feeling worse than before you spoke. Psychologist Professor Robin Dunbar, whose research emerged from Oxford, identified that humans maintain roughly 5 truly close relationships, and when those 5 become sources of stress rather than support, avoidance is an instinctive protective response. The problem isn't that you're pulling away. The problem is often who you're pulling away from. Sign 5. The energy audit. You've started mentally auditing who energizes you and who doesn't. This isn't unkind. It's actually a sign of growing psychological awareness.
A 2021 paper published in Psychological Science found that individuals who consciously categorize social interactions by their emotional yield demonstrate significantly lower rates of chronic fatigue and higher resilience. What I'm about to say in point 7 completely reframes what you do with that information.
Sign 6. Conversation dread. Small talk feels physically painful. It's not arrogance, it's not shyness, it's that your tolerance for surface-level exchange has dropped because you're conserving what little social energy you have left. The Mind UK 2023 annual report noted that emotionally fatigued individuals report conversations as a primary trigger for their withdrawal. Not arguments, not conflict, but ordinary, unremarkable small talk, which is, to put it mildly, quite significant. Sign 7. The misdirected fix. You keep trying to fix yourself when the environment is the problem. This is where most people get stuck. They read about introversion, they try mindfulness, they reduce screen time, and then they return to the same relationships, the same social obligations, the same draining dynamics, and wonder why nothing has changed. A landmark 2020 review in the Lancet Psychiatry found that the single most reliable predictor of social exhaustion recovery was environmental change, adjusting the social context, not the individual. You are not the problem to be solved.
Remember what I said at the start, that you haven't lost the will to live, you've lost the will to perform. Here's the fuller truth. Performing for someone who is socially exhausted isn't just tiring, it's a form of self-abandonment. Every time you push through a conversation that costs you, every time you show up when every part of you wants to retreat, you are not being strong. You are, slowly, teaching yourself that your needs don't matter. The exhaustion you feel isn't a character flaw, it's a signal, and signals exist to be heard. If this changed how you see your need for space, the next video on if you do these 6 things alone, your intelligence is rarer than you think, goes even further, and it's the one most people message me about. Which of these 7 signs do you recognize most in yourself right now? Drop the number below.